Hey everybody, John D. Christopher here, and welcome to a special episode of Track Talk. Today I'm bringing you a segment from a Live from My Drum Room episode from November 14th, 2022, with the legendary Jim Keltner, my hero and my dear friend. We had a great conversation during this full episode, which you can find on Live from My Drum Room with John D. Christopher. In fact, I'm going to put the link to the entire episode in the description so you can watch that if you haven't seen it. But in this little segment, we talked about his incredible drumming on one of my favorite songs, Dreamweaver by Gary Wright. Check it out, give a listen. The way Jim comes in at about a minute into the song with that beautiful, clean single stroke roll that he's known for. He just brings it right in. It's so beautiful. But in the meantime, enjoy this conversation with a true legend, the great Jim Keltner. Thanks for watching and enjoy the track. Don't forget to subscribe. Okay, here it comes. And you mentioned John, and I was going to get to just some of the brilliant work you did with John, and I do want to get to that in a second. But a couple of songs I just wanted to just touch on for a second. And ahead of this, I just want you to know I started thinking about a million recordings, and I thought, we could go on for 2 days doing that. So I promise I'm not going to do that. But a couple of my favorite songs, I know I mentioned Josie, and I'll even come back to that one too. But Dreamweaver by Gary Wright is to me again another masterpiece in drumming. I think it's so beautiful what you play on that song, and I've always wondered, was it just you and Gary in the studio? It's doing that song
Gary and David Foster.
and David Foster. Okay,
Yeah, David was the key. David Foster was the key to Dreamweaver. Uh, you listen to the way he played, and
he didn't produce it though. He played.
oh yeah, he
He
did.
he did produce it. Oh,
He produced with Gary,
I
he,
see. Okay.
and that's another long story, man. We just saw Gary. David and I drove down to see him, and remember Gary in your prayers, all of
Okay.
y'all.
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, yeah, that that little Dreamweaver song, it's just the simplest of all little grooves. But like you say, deceptively simple. And
Absolutely.
the key to that for the drums was David Foster's piano.
Okay.
And you really need, as a drummer, you really, really need to have people uh, elevate you. And the way they elevate you, the way they elevate the drums is by playing some badass stuff, man. And I've been so fortunate for that, man. I mean, over the years to have played with some of the baddest people in the. I did an interview for Mojo not long ago, and they said give us five of tracks that you like, and I said five tracks. Oh, no, I can't do that, and I refused to do it. I said no, I can't. I'm sorry, I just can't play that game. I 10 would be too hard
Too hard.
because
Yeah.
that I love, and if I say this one and I don't say that one, I'm going to hate it and everything. But I started thinking about it. I thought, okay, then I said, all right. So what I'll do is I'll eliminate the Beatles. I mean, I'll eliminate any of those guys. I'll eliminate, the stuff that everybody knows that I've played on, and all that, Dreamweaver and Josie and all that stuff, which I love, of course. But I'll do some things that maybe people don't know about. And so, as I compile my little list of five, uh, those songs were perfect. I realized while I was doing that those songs were perfect examples of what I've been telling people for a long time. It's not about the drums. The magic of a song or a hit song or whatever, it's not the drums that did it. The drums are a part, let's say a hit record. The drums are obviously a part of that recipe. It's part of what made that cake taste good. But what made the drums come together and happen was some brilliant stuff from the other musicians. somebody, one cat, two, three, it's even better, or whatever. That right there is a perfect example of what I'm talking about. And there are many other examples where the drummer, all y'all who might be listening right now, all drummers will come alive if they're given something to play. You've got to have something to rise to. And unfortunately, a lot of times, the people that you're playing with are expecting you to provide the groove. That is not the same. Jeffrey and I used to talk about this. Jeff knew exactly what I was talking about, and he proved it many times. It's not, you have got to have people give you something to rise to.
Yeah, yeah. No, I understand that. That makes perfect sense. And to circle back to Dreamweaver, where you mentioned David's piano part, David Foster's. That's him playing. I didn't realize. I thought Gary Wright played all the all the
Okay,
keyboard parts.
the spooky stuff, the synth stuff.
Yeah.
He was. David says today even that Gary Wright was responsible for his a huge part of his career, in that he was the one that introduced him for the first time to synthesizer,
Wow. Yeah.
synthesize stuff.
Were you playing to a click on that, Jim? Was that like, because that sounds like there's sequenced keyboard parts, but maybe Gary just
But
overdubbed a bunch of stuff?
I'll tell you what, I don't think there was a click on that. No, it doesn't feel like a click to me.
No,
I
not
but
one bit.
uh, that was a little before
Right.
click thing. Those guys were just badass, man. They play a groove, and
Yeah, I mean that, I
you know,
asked that Dreamweaver, the time never moves, but yet when you play that cross stick part during the verses, um, I guess it's the first verse, when you come in with that little, it's like the beat comes back a little bit, but it's not slowing down. It's that
yeah,
magical playing
that's the
behind the beat.
that's the magic of not playing to a click.
Yeah,
When I get on this bandwagon here about clicks and stuff, I'm afraid that I'm going to give people wrong information. Click is not a bad thing. A click is not your enemy, and you can play to. I've played on many records with clicks that I like, you
sure.
know,
Yeah.
but not as many as without clicks. It's like talking about dogs or rabbits. I mean, it's
Yeah.
two different things. It's not you talk about them in the same way. You can make records uh, of many, many different ways. One of my favorites, as I say, has always been to be able to, like, uh, be in a room with people and play live, because you're playing off of each other, and that way, then you can have a verse or even a chorus or whatever that wants to sit back.
Yeah.
Great. And then you can have the part of the song that wants to move up. Usually it's the chorus that wants to go a little faster. And those guys, like, for instance, to get back to Charlie and Ringo, those guys knew that.
Yeah.
And they did it instinctively. They didn't have to talk about it. It was instinctive. Uh, those guys, like, the early rock guys,
Yeah. Yeah.
they all would just give it a slight bit of, I don't want to say rush. They would give it a little more energy coming into the chorus.
Yeah.
And you hear that on the Rolling Stones, huge. You hear it big time. You hear it on the Beatles. You hear it on all of any early rock kind of stuff. That's the way it was.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Modern, current day rock has been, it's usually been programmed in some kind of way. Somebody has laid down a track or something, and but if people play live in the room, and and they believe it, then that's the best, I
Yeah.
think.
Yeah. No,
But
amen.
say,
Yeah.
that's what the instinct would tell you to do. Okay, well, play to the click, and now you can add all your other stuff to. No, I'm going to do it this way.
Yeah.
That way, and it'll be probably easier for me because I did the original track. I'm going to know where it veers off here, veers off there a little bit, and
Great.
hopefully what'll happen is that'll be where the magic is, right?
Yeah. Yeah. This is Dreamweaver by Gary Wright. I hope you enjoy it, and I'll see you on the other side. Thanks.
I've just closed my eyes again, climbed aboard the Dreamweaver train, trying to take away my worries of today and leave tomorrow behind. Ooh, Dreamweaver, I believe you can get me through the night. Ooh, Dreamweaver, I believe we can reach the morning light. Fly me high through the starry skies, maybe to an astral plane. Cross the highways of fantasy, help me to forget today's pain. Ooh, Dreamweaver, I believe you can get me through the night. Ooh, Dreamweaver, I believe we can reach the morning light. Though the dawn may be coming soon, there still may be some time. Fly me away to the bright side of the moon. Meet me on the other side. Ooh, Dreamweaver, I believe you can get me through the night. Ooh, Dreamweaver, I believe we can reach the morning light. Dreamweaver.
Incredible. Just such a beautiful song. The great Jim Keltner on drums, Gary Wright, of course, on synthesizers and vocals, and David Foster on piano. And of course, Love is Alive is another great Gary Wright song, incredible. And that has the great Andy Newmark playing drums. We talked about that on the episode of Live from My Drum Room with Andy Newmark. That was in March of 2021. And I'll do a separate excerpt on that as well, so you can check that out. But if you feel like it, just search through the archives of Live from My Drum Room, my YouTube channel, and you'll find that episode from, I think it was March 28th, 2021 with Andy Newmark. And as I said, I'll put the link in the description here to the episode with Jim Keltner from November 14th, 2022. I hope you enjoyed it. And please continue to watch. I really appreciate it. I appreciate all the comments. If you like it, give it a like. If you don't like it, tell me about it. Tell me why. I want to keep making these better. And I really do appreciate your support and subscribing. So I'll see you next time. Remember, no drummers are ever harmed on Live from My Drum Room. And I'll see you soon. Thanks.